So we are going to continue with, what we were doing earlier. It was on the face of the Dubai King that we got something, but it goes back to actually the wearing of the IR and the ET. Egos of people and switching it around technologically. Spoiling things for lots of people, creating mass confusion for everybody. Okay, so we'll be backtracking. But what is interesting is, yesterday I did a dream. I did not a dream, I had no dream. I don't know why I was not sleeping properly. But leave that. So there's no question of dreaming. But what I'm saying is, yesterday I did a read on YouTube of somebody else. Okay, so we will be addressing that and then backtracking to the earlier reads of what I have found out to try and put it together in case it makes any sense. I also want to state very clearly, you have called the Sindhis, what? You call my grandfather ISI? If they were ISI and if the Sindhis were actually helping their Sindhi people on the other side of the border, the Sindhis of Pakistan would have been very prosperous, not fighting and forever having a problem, just sustaining themselves in Sindh, wanting to break away. Sindhis in India are there backing each other with the Punjabi community. They're very family oriented and very cousin oriented. That's how I've been brought up by my dadi, my mother, my father, doing the Vedas, learning the Vedas at Fort Jaswell, 9 New Marine Lines, first floor, Bombay 20. With my dadi very much in it. And my dadi doing the Lakshmi Pujan. This is not actually a Hindu game. I'm not a politician. I just want people to understand how they've been played. The player is very much hiding out at India. At least he's a big crusader for the anti-god. India's strength has been the Vedas, the Purans, the Shastras, the Stotrams, in various languages, hardly ever diversing from the core ancient scriptures. Whereas every other place, the religion from the core bifurcated into other subdivisions, whether it is, the Western world or it is the Islam world, where they can play each other against each other and create mass confusion. In India, when it comes to the Hindu majority, they were not able to do it, primarily because it is the language which is different, but the core knowledge is not. Okay? Given that they have played Tron from the very beginning in Europe, then in the Islamic places, India is a hot seat for probably the mother and grandmother and great-grandmother of all bomb blasts in a very different way. That also people need to be absolutely sure that they've understood what I've said. And it is not good for anybody. Why? Because habitually, those who he puts to work, he gets rid of every once in a while in droves. Nobody knows about it because he's got an upper hand with stolen scientific research of probably shape-shifting and cloning. What I saw earlier outside in the, during my sleep, during my prayers a few days ago, where an elderly lady, very dark skin, she's going to hit Shirdi Sai Baba at the Shirdi Samadhi Mandir, and there are droves of people from the lower strata of society in India's diaspora. They're all very angry with Shirdi Sai Baba, they want to beat him up. I checked on the pendulum, I got that yes, people who had passed on were actually being received by Shirdi Sai Baba, and no, they were not going to good realms, they were going to the lower realms, and so they were very angry with him. Point is, how much does intelligence know that these people are no more? And if intelligence does not know in India's 1.3 billion people, how many below the poverty line in which towns and villages and states? If you don't know that these people have died, what timeline was it and why did you not know that they died? For every Indian that dies, no matter even if it is the Manrega, compared to war-torn Middle East, where even peace of mind is so difficult, forget about anything else. My guess is even a small village and town being freed up for the infiltrator to come in is better than the what on Middle East. But what happens is, when they are brought into this country, they have a very clear agenda of bifurcating, breaking, fracturing India to the highest degree. You have to keep that in mind. Whatever the problems of India are, it is from within the country, and the style of it having happened within this country is what I have told you. Since it is, I will show you. Let's go ahead. Let's just time this. The date today is Saturday, and the date is the 7th of February 2026. It is 11:30 in the afternoon, or noon, close to noon. Okay, it's a good day. Today's day is Pluto is the ruling one. Sun with it. Saturday being Shani's day. So Pluto, Sun is leadership. Pluto is the destruction of powerful people or their destruction. Shani is guiding it. So we will go ahead. Okay. Now, what do I want to say? I want to go into yesterday's video. This is not Rohika, this is JAYA.ADVANI. Right, JAYA.ADVANI. And Rohika is not JAYA.ADVANI. My name Advani was not given thanks to Rohika. My name Advani was given to me in 1973, when your Rohika would have been how old? Nothing to do with Mr. L.K. Advani, but to do with Hochand Advani, to do with Chatlanis, to do with the Shahanis, to do with the Hiranandanis, and not in 73, but as early as the 50s. So I wouldn't like conversations by the NDA on phone or the NIA on the phone to redirect who I am. Don't do that. I'm not a worker in my own home. I'm an owner provided for by business money. Okay? Now let us get into the IOL, Indian Online Broadband, with NDA. Come, let's show you something. Let's go into the history of what I did yesterday. Let's go into the history. That movie, this song is not what I have seen, but maybe it got it, so we leave it. This is what I have seen. Okay, now you see, this is from the history. What is it I'm trying to do over here? What is the topic over here? Why did I come to this reading? This is done by Awaken Me Tarot, Ancestor Messages, pick a card. So yesterday I did some cooking for myself, fantastic food. I can't tell you how proud I am of myself. And by the time I ate and packed up, it was already around 11:55 in the night. I had a good time. It was quite therapeutic, given lots of things. I came and I sat over here and I said, let me have a look at, I've eaten, so I need to digest my food. I cannot go to sleep. So from 11:55 to around, let's just say close to 1 in the morning, I was watching TV, this YouTube. What is the problem? I was not Rohika, I am Jaya. Here at J1801 Purva Palm Beach, 18th floor, Bangalore 560077, the same damn bloody place I keep showing you. Oh, I was supposed to, it's okay, I'll do that later. This is my home. Not your grandpop's property, but my property. Okay? And it's not on rent. I own this. I've just paid huge amount of property tax. Too much. Anyway, now I don't want to get into that. Do not diversify me and don't divert me because you're scared about what this reading is saying. Right? So I very innocently came over here to look what is the ancestral message. So I chose the second one. Okay, you can see over here there are 3 cards. The first timestamp of the first one, this was the second one, and that is the third one. I chose the middle one. I closed my eyes and I asked Shirdi Sai Baba, do guide me, which one is for me? And I got this. This is not my read, this is somebody else's read. It's a third party read. What did I get over here is the most important. What do you see over here? First you see rain, which means Varsha. R-A-I-N. You see R-A, which is Ramesh Advani. You see N-A, which is Nikhil Advani. You see the NDA, which is your BJP. You see Indian Online Broadband, which is an extension of the BJP. You see Times of India. Okay, luckily you don't see the T-O-I. But if we make that blank chit a T, you will get a Tony. You will get Times of India also. You have the DNA over here. You have RIL over here. You have the ISI over there. You have Iran. You have Israel. You have the word die and you have the word rid. You have the overseas involved. You have dining. You have rinse. You have letter of authorities. You have the IR and you have the AI. That is for wearing the ETs. If that is a T, the blank one that you see over here, if this is a T, you get Times of India, you get the ET, you get Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu for Bollywood, Tollywood, Bollywood, not just Tollywood. So Tamil Nadu, Chennai was used with Bollywood, Maharashtra, Bombay as the first place of unscrewing via the film industry, because the film industry is equivalent to espionage, it is equal to dance drama, also it went ahead to VFX, gaming, extended to artificial intelligence, ET, AI, IR. In the hands of criminals or terrorists or terrorist related people for, let's just say, a lot of siphoning of money from the country. With all the trappings, enhancements that come naturally by default in that industry. Whether it is in Tamil Nadu, the second biggest place in India for the industry, or it is Bombay, the financial capital, and Bollywood's hub. Extended to Delhi, the Parliament of India. This bunch will create havoc over there. But you will never know that it is worse than the great grandmother of all bomb blasts. Far more dangerous than what you can ever even envisage. And it's all history. Okay? So, we also have over here the name Rosie, R-O-S-I-E. Her name comes up all the time. Anu's name is not here. Anita's name is here. A-N-E-E. Anit hai, Anita nahi hai, Anite hai. If that is only a T, the blank one. Anu nahi hai, Anu Sadrangani nahi hai. Wahan pe we only get A-N-O, Anu. That means in her name there is a problem. Somebody has misused her identity big time. Also, the other thing over here is AO for Kerala. That also is over here. Repeat show. Rid is there, die is there. That means death has happened, or some people stealth mode. Steal, if you want to see, S-T-E-A-L, steal. INR, INR, right? ISI is a spy group, but ISI is Pakistan. Why is there Iran and Israel over here? Mossad is Israel. ISI is Pakistan. Iran is what? There is no RAW over here. There is no IB here. INR is for India. India is over here. INDIA. India यहाँ पे है. India, INR, NDA, IOL. If that's a T, Times of India. Somebody has witnessed this, seen all this. There is a seer involved. SEER. There is an arise. There is sinning of great degree. There is rider. There is deer. DREERS. Deers or deer or DEAR. There are a lot of lies over here and liars involved. But you know, whoever has done this activity has done so from a very uneducated point of view, getting rid of real statesmen and industry and government. As in, let's just say slaughter. Replacement by low kind of people. Okay, now how did she pick these things up? You can do and figure out for yourself. Also, you can figure out for yourself. If there's anything you want to see for yourself, you recognize it, and I don't. The blank in my mind is T. You see what you want to put. This is how she chose. RA, first is low. Okay, RA. That means Ramesh Advani's identity and Nikhil Advani's identity was shapeshifted for by low people, and they lied a lot. It is connected with Rosie in some way. Either she was killed and replaced, which is what I was told. Africa is the place that is responsible for all this bullshit. Satya Sai Baba's ashram, the way Satya Sai Baba's gown is, the color is like African, the hair is also Afro, but the gown is Arabic, what the Middle East wears. Now, what also needs to be understood over here, which I did see, low to hai, ER is there. If you're looking at who all are involved, the ER is involved, the NIA is involved, the ISI is involved. How does the ISI come into when there is the NIA? Don't ever call me the Advani and ISI person. I have lost most of my family members, to tell you quite frankly, and most royalty is dead. We have low-lying scumbags wearing the ET of royalty, and they are all pieces of shit, bigger than leprosy written in the Brahmand. Ultimately leaving the body, though jisne upar niche, that was done upside down, is going to the leprosy ridden part of the Brahmand, not ever getting a form out of Nark. Even Mata from Patal, I said she is not keeping you. There's a lot of money over there. There's Rakshasic demonic traits of the souls who can come into a human form, predatory form, whatever. But you have lost even that place, to tell you quite frankly. Okay? There was something else that I saw. There is Leo involved over here. Elon's name is here. I didn't see this yesterday. ELON or Noel, NOEL. They both have the height, similar height. There is air, there is rail. Of course, there is Lord and there is Sire. Side. raids, R-A, Rain, N-A, that is Ramesh Advani, Nikhil Advani, and Rain, that is Varsha Advani, are supposed to be my birth relatives. Anita is their daughter-in-law. Anu is their daughter-in-law. From the 70s, 73 onwards, or 71 onwards. Sachai hai, no lies, because I got nothing to hide. Neither am I the NDA, nor am I RIL, nor am I interested in building at any cost anything. Whatever is mine is not on the back of foul play. I got no extra motives that perhaps an NDA as a political party would have, NIA that works for the Home Ministry, Times of India not mentioned, but RIL and its growth story. I have nothing actually that I am looking for. Anti-Lord to hai yahan pe, ANTILORD, activities, high level of sinning. So I am not you. Neither was I born in a debt-laden place. Luckily, I have just lived within whatever was given to me, so I don't have your reasons. Times of India, shaking hands with RIL, NDA, IOL. IOL is supposed to have housed 3 people connected with terrorism. My every reading has been saying that that's connected with NDA. I worked at IOL actually at Mittal Towers, Nariman Point for 6 months. Since then you have been chasing my tail. I go to Goa, Vijay Bala makes a call to me in Goa. How did you know? After a long time, after a few years. Money laundering through Monsanto is spoken about by Rajesh. Mr. Ajay Chauhan lost his son in an accident. But then that accident, though even Jashoda Ben went through. So did Mr. Real Narendra Damodar Das Modi's brother during his mother's funeral. He also went into an accident. Your Marwar district called Rajasthan is equated to what? Pakistan, Afghanistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kurdistan, and those sthans. Whatever your problems are in your Gujarati villages, you brought it into urban society, promising those guys lots of rice, but getting rid of how many people who were worthy of actual governance, actual positions of CEOs, chairmen, all kinds, CTOs, CEOs, CMOs, getting rid of all that, the MDs, then mid-level executives, to plug in what kind of people? Your choice of people when you hired people after a particular point in time was everybody looking at the lack of competency, the increase in the hungriness in them to do anything at any cost while at the job, lacking ethics, lacking a good background, calling it Rising India. But actually the agenda was completely different. Your Teach India also was what? What you taught them was used how against India from within India itself. Yes, because Times of India, Samir Jain and Vineet Jain, Samir Jain was equated to Syria and Mr. Vineet Jain was equated to Cyprus. In the pendulum session earlier, he says his company was infiltrated 2006 and he was removed in 2009. Problems galore 2012 onwards. His identity equal to Cyprus. The girl who's called Rupa over there, her voice is playing in my home all the time. She's been called a high-level criminal. How come? She was working in response. Tony Fernandez is also always mentioned all the time. He has got very high levels of debt-ridden with her. How come? When RIL was concerned, they said the ones who were connected with lots of problems were the employees of RIL. Which employees of RIL? Can I ask you? With what levels of ethics, what kind of background? What is it? India's middle class with ethics and morals and education were not hired. Why? Why were the saleable ones, or the ones really hungry to do anything? Because they got generational issues and you want to give them a leg up. And their qualification is primarily they're willing to do anything for that leg up, that rise, lift up, lift kara de. Right? So you destroy this country from the inside. That dying is not lies. Ridding people is not lies. Law is not lies. This is a third party reading. This is the bloody topic. Come on. That's the topic. So this was the first read I did. It was just to figure out some information about the King of Dubai. Okay, we've increased the speed. We just want to show you, because it has a direct connection to what I have done. Okay, one was 13 years old and one was 3 years old. Both is a timeline after the princesses were, they left the palace and went. Luckily, somebody is still alive according to the read. Their brother is no more, the prince. Whatever falls out on its own, I never pick up, because they make things jump also and I don't pick it up. Right? With voice, they make things jump. So I close my eyes and I shake the box. I ask Shirdi Sai Baba to help to get the right information, and then whatever I pick in my hands, I put down, and anything that jumped out on its own, I put it back into the box. Okay? Now this is to do with the king's photo, the two of them, King of Dubai. Right, so connected with Vitala, which is again the lower realm on exit, but not so bad. It's Atala, then Vitala, and then it goes all the way to very, very terrible. But okay, so this is not so bad. What I want you to see is this was done. You can read this on your own later on. I'll be rewriting it. Okay. What I want you to understand is, from there, what I did get is this. So let's just count the words over there. And see if what we have over here, first and foremost, I'm an ADVANI, not an ADWENI. This is in the past based on those two photos. So how many pieces do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 pieces. How many pieces do we have over there? An extension of the throw. It's the same thing. Where does the NDA come up with Dubai? I cannot understand. The king of Dubai. A rat is gone to put my home off so that my voice doesn't go out. Otherwise, he plays it and talks lots of rubbish about me in my home 24/7, insulting me all the time. Call me a worker in my own home. Okay, so how many pieces do we have over here? There's one on top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Right? Let us play a little. Let's see what we have. If I move it a little more. Okay, so that's 17. What we're going to do is it says Ye, Lai, Lit, Rio, Q, EA, NDA, V, Ye. That's how it started out. Rest of it you can do on your own. I think already 5 are already done. 5 little short videos. Okay, or half an hour videos. Now let's replace this down here. What you've done is, good people you have put them to GT, hospital, ET and IR. And those who are actually born in GT hospital, which is a government municipal hospital, them you got them to become wearing the IR and the ET of royalty. But anyway, the Advanis will not give you the name because you have stolen identity for your own benefit. So you will get it wrongly spelled as ADWENI. Right? Also, you have taken the IR and the ET, the EQ and the IQ of the actual royal Advanis, which was shown on my grandfather's photo much earlier. Mr. Hukumat Rai Gurmukh Das Advani in the 1950s photo. You remember I had shown this, and he got almost immediately royalty to his name and nothing. It was this. This is my father, this is my grandfather, this is my aunt, father, sister, that's my grandmother who has looked after me in my childhood at Fort Jasmine. You cut her nose because you do that all the time. And over there was no wearing of any ET. It is just that they are by birth. They're decent people, not indecent people. Decency is you don't need to wear a placard on your head to remind yourself to be human. Your human birth says you should know your soul journey and evolve further, not fall down to the depths that you get kicked out from being born on earth ever in the future, which you have done. Earned it fantastically. Don't care. Hear it for what it is. Take it or leave it, वो तुम्हारा problem है, हमारा problem नहीं है. Okay, so over here somebody wore the ET and the IR, and you know what we're getting over here? So I don't know how to read this, but this is connected with the King of Dubai in some way. Okay. So why did you use the ET and the IR of JAYA.ADVANI to make something ill? But that's what Rohika says, that she became sick for 2 years and she passed away. I say, are you really Rohika Chagla, or are you somebody who shapeshifted for her? That lady died in 2013 and it is connected something to do with Lonavla's Prashanti Nilayam. I have checked on the pendulum. What I have got is that 4 places were misused. One was my own apartment, number 4 Jaswal in Bombay. First floor, 9 New Marine Lines, Bombay 20. That's one place that was misused. The other place was Shalina Hundalani and Ravi Hundalani's home in the suburbs called Deep Towers. That was also misused. Brunton Road, Prestige Apartments, it is a penthouse. It is on Brunton Road, yes, off MG Road. It is a penthouse, it's a very nice apartment. It was also misused with Koshi Gupta's identity, Subhash Gupta's identity, Kabir Gupta's identity and Akhil Gupta's identity highly misused. In my home, it was Varsha Shalina's identity misused. Maybe Anu Anita's identity misused. Kiran Merchant's identity was misused from that Prashanti Nilayam, small little 2 BHK, very, 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 very basic bungalow in Lonavala, in quite an obscure place, but close to the marketplace, off the highway, quite central. That was also misused by the miscreants, is what I have got on the pendulum off camera, so I am saying it. Okay? These are 4 places that were misused. The reason they targeted the Sindhi community is primarily because Sindhis are so few in India. You can get away calling them all kinds of things, calling them Paki, Faki, Baki, but I gave you the logic. We cannot be ISI, otherwise the Sindhis of Sindh would not be fighting for their freedom, having a problem on that side of the border. The miscreant connected with NDA, IOL, here also we have IOL, RIL, NDA, NDA. The miscreant pulls from outside of the chessboard and puts people against each other habitually. Who the anti-god is, that's your job to find out and to get rid of him, because otherwise he is not going to leave you. If you are Mossad, you are CIA, you are ISIS, you are the Indian military, you are foreign military, he is not going to spare you. He does not have it in him to help you. He will use you and he will get rid of you. He has a pattern. You have to figure out the pattern before he gets to you. Alright? And any other bloody freaking agency, if I have not taken the name, don't worry, you are also not going to be spared. As long as you can hear what I am saying and understand what I am saying, understand it. Okay? Satya Sai Baba's ashram, Amritanandamayi Mata's ashram, both were called out for high levels of very illegal activity. Don't know if it indirectly connects with Epstein. Epstein's cause was only because it is not so much about sex, as much about the robotization and control of the human mind. Both ashrams had super speciality hospitals, had education centers, but to what cost? Point is, there are so many international travelers to both ashrams. How many of them were actually sent by governments pretending to be rotating or resident ashram devotees? Did you create a specialized cell of all kinds of agents working with each other, helping each other for your own outcome? Whatever Satya Sai Baba's, Balvika's teachings in the 70s were, they were the Vedas. The Vedas are nobodies. They are the ancient scriptures taught to us in English. Other than that, considering that all religions are one, that is kind of your new world order, one world government. I am not saying once we go into the afterlife, Vishnu's 14 realms are there. The 15th one is Nark, if you are not fit even for Patal, where Lakshmi Mata resides. If raping has been the name of the game, grabbing has been the name of the game, lying has been the name of the game, then even Lakshmi Mata is not safe at Patal. Right? So she has agreed that there is 40% under the tutelage of Shani and Shirdi Sai Baba and some other gurus who are already not in the body, they are already in the afterlife. This bunch of people who are the most lowliest, they are like leprosy ridden of the Brahmand. Say untouchables of the Brahmand. those guys are not returning to Earth under any circumstances. Let me also explain something to you. You need to compare Earth and its prosperity and see what is being sold to you as Mars. Only a bloody fool will believe that. That means your brain is already stamped down on. If you are so interested in Mars, you don't remember your labor class crying in the Middle East during the 70s and the 80s, creating your bloody human rights or shit when it came to the development of the UAE and the Middle East. So you are willing to go to Mars, but you had great problems on Earth developing the Middle East, on the back of which your human rights came up, and the hoo ha ha ha, and their own bloody princesses were thrashed and taken away underground, calling their father evil. What dirty game are you playing? What filthy game are you playing? Self-contradictory all the time. Coming back to here, now you understood this? This is a fake ID. Fake ID. She's supposed to be Rohika Chagla. She says she's no more. She was supposed to be married to Cyrus Mistry. She says no, she got married to shapeshifters of Cyrus Mistry. This is what she said. Siddharth Srivastava from IOL looks like he could have shapeshifted for Cyrus Mistry amongst many of them. One's eyes roll up. Rohika says don't trust him, he's not trustworthy. He's got eyes like some version of Elon, some version of Errol. Eyes go up into the socket, he's not trustworthy. Not trustworthy at all. So let's see if we have got the right thing over here. It says ye lie. If at all I told you one simile of Q, they are saying काम वाली ये है, काम वाली क्या है, हम काम वाली क्या है, यकी. वहां पे तुमको हमारा पैर पड़ना पड़ेगा ना, फिर रोना मत वो टाइम पे. One call, we had one CA coming over here to file my taxes. One call on the phone, he says she's a worker, something like that on the phone. And kya? Worker. I'm a worker over here. Okay, he has opened the ITR page over there and called Jaya. So now, what are you doing over here calling me Jaya? You're calling me a Kambali in my own home and you're calling me a worker. I'm not a worker over here. I'm an owner. This is all Times of India's useless nonsense with the NDA and IOL. All the time stealing. Lying. Most incompetent. So did we reconfigure this? It says yeah, lie, lit. Q, EANDA, Rio, VA. Or it could just be EU. Very not acceptable by the spirit realm. So it is NDA's game connected with Rio. In Rio, which Fernandez has gone running over there, sent the... Who did you send a fax to lying about some people in India, including me, getting the ED to work, uselessly wasting their time? Fernandez went running to South America. Why did he run? What kind of intelligence are you? NIA. Yet once again. You want to see the same repeat show over here? Want to see the miscreants yet once again? How do they connect with Dubai's king? Surely not murdering the Advanis, ADVANIs. All my cousins are murdered. I'm the only Advani left. They're insisting I'm yucky because Mr. Modi says what? He talks to Mr. Ambani of RIL, or we will all go back to poverty. You stole how much money on the back of the Advanis, can I tell you? Can you answer me? Your whole development is on the back of what? One family's massacre? My family came over here, you know why? They didn't want to be in a war-torn land. My grandfather is called Hadith because yes, ancestrally he has lived in Sindh. You want to see what Sindh is? Go watch the movie called Durandar. वहाँ पे तुमको ना पुलिस सिंध मिलेगा. हैदराबाद सिंध कोई चीज है ही नहीं. You dare to call me IB? When a government my grandfather is well networked, to know 4 years in advance he needs to sell his property, 400 to 600 acres, and move to Bombay, where his other people are also moving. They have built colleges in South Bombay. They have built your Marine Drive in South Bombay. They have contributed to the benches over there. They have built engineering colleges. They were big in lots of businesses with no foul play. They are not more than how many people in Bombay in that community? You got rid of them. Who can talk on their behalf? Dead meat people don't speak. You call them the ISI, but you are Rajasthan to Kazakhstan and Pakistan, not Sindhis who moved, taking a chance because they wanted peace and they wanted to go to a place which is conducive to their business. They did not expect to be dealt with in that cheap manner for a different diaspora of India to develop itself at any cost. They did not expect that. And no, they cannot be the ISI, and they cannot because Sindh is still fighting for its freedom. They didn't want to be held at a back end. They made one mistake. They came to India. They should have gone to Europe. Rather, they made one mistake. They came to Delhi and Bombay. They should have just gone away to Europe. So do we have the RIL over here again? Do we have Times of India over here yet once again? Do we have NDA? Do we have the NIA once again? Do we have Ramesh Advani, Nikhil Advani once again? Do we have Tony, T-O-N-I, from Times of India, or T-O-N-Y? Do we have the ED? Do we have lies? L-I-E-R and L-I-E no S, but lie, all the time liars. What, you don't know how to earn your own place, other than this cheap tactics? You're the mother of all filth of politics. Not to mention, please look very closely in the Satya Sai Baba ashram because that's the group of people I believe who created this. At any cost. Use of ETs. AI. IR, you were silently recording things living out of number 4 Jaswal with whose permission? Anita left her husband when I was 9 years old. They have a divorce paper. Why did you steal it? My mom left in 2 saris. She would spit at you if you ever used her name that you did such shitty activities. You are ex-staff of the Advani household. You are the perpetrators. It has been proved time and time and again. And when I was working in IOL, they said I had an enemy at Times of India. That was Tony Fernandez. NDA and IOL knew about it 2006, 2005. Do we have anything called high over here? Do we have things that are low-lying scumbags for anything at anything? You have raped people and murdered them. You have held them underground. What is that diaspora I saw going to hit Shirdi Sai Baba, because he sent them to the lower realms. They are very dark skinned and they are all below the poverty line kind of people, or low, or you can say the lower middle class. Huge congregation of them. How many people died? Why did they die? And under what circumstances did they die? That nobody is accounting for them. Okay, so I don't know. You saw that this is that read only. That read is to do with, this read had to do with having a look at this photo. How does the NDA connect with the Dubai King? Why was the Dubai King called out to be extremely evil by his own daughters? Why did his daughters have to leave? Why did his son die in an accident yet once again? Frankly telling you, NDA is divided into miscreants of a very high order and old BJP members. They don't know how to recognize each other. I will tell you why. In the Bhatia Hospital, where the real Mr. Narottam Das Merchant has built Bhatia Hospital at Bombay's Tardieu. That is the real Mr. Kiran Merchant, a very decent man. He is born about 15 years, 20 years after his sister Veena. That is a wonderful family in the Bhatia community. They have their own problems. Okay, I'm not saying they're a little greedy also. But then they are with lots of wealth. When you have lots of wealth, you have so many people in one family, you tend to be greedy. Also Gujarati community. Okay, no problem. And they are not greedy for other people's wealth. They are greedy for their own share of their own father's property. Okay. Point is, what I'm trying to say with Mr. Narottam Das Merchant's children, his youngest son, Mr. Kiran Merchant, who got married to my mom in her second marriage, his first marriage. That man is so decent. Without him marrying her, he has found me alone playing in opposite Whitefield, Whitefield Ashram or Satya Sai Baba. And he said, "What are you doing over here? Go, your mother is looking for you. In Lila Ma's home, go. She's quite frantic and she was looking all over for you, go home." He could have, if he was a bad person, he could have done anything to me, nobody would know. Even when I grew older, he's never been bad. There is a change in his attitude post 2000, and I noticed a change sometime in 2003 onwards. Frankly, I think even little earlier than that, but that is very little, you don't spend too much time on it. But 2003 onwards, I did feel that there is some difference in his attitude. My reading says the real Mr. Kiran Merchant was taken underground, held underground for 9 years before he was done away in 2009. Your SNL actually identified it, calling it Asperger's. He was harassed to that extent that someone talking on the phone as Mrs. Anita Merchant says, "I'm very worried for Kiran, he should not commit suicide." So he could have become suicidal underground towards the end, 2008-9, 7-8-9, before he could have been removed completely. Any which ways, maybe he was not looking like himself because they CRISPR people. That's also another problem. Other than that, what I wanted to say is, when it comes to the Merchant household, a man who will not even misbehave with the child he is, found alone, playing in an open ground in opposite Whitefield, how does he threaten his mother, Niranjani Merchant, with rape? And he is traumatizing her in her petition in the Bombay High Court. How has he threatened her with rape? She is his own mother, and he has gone with his wife to stay with them once the father has passed away. And on another occasion, because I think in 2005, Kamdar has given an order that, the property has to be, it's an open shut case. The will is from way before. The property has to be divided between the two brothers. One is Ravindra Merchant, the other one is Kiran Merchant. When he has gone over there, he has been banging vessels on purpose, like what, let's just say, squatting on an open private property on one plot. An open, it's a private property with a gate. There's one open plot over there. Since it is Lonavala, people come there on weekends or once in a year. They don't live there all the time. The squatters over there are banging vessels. There is, the rickshaw that comes in, and the girl is newly married, but she is entertaining the rickshawalas in that open plot. But it is a gated society. There's a corporator helping her. Who's helping her? How does it tie in that 80s issue or late 80s issue? How does it tie in with the NDA and today's problem in India, connected with the Sindhi community, which is so small that you can talk any shit and get rid of about 500 to 1,000 people without anyone knowing about it? And Bakofai calling us ISI, that's not good enough, frankly telling you. It's not good enough. You will be called out for a high level of misdemeanor going forward, where you will not be allowed on earth in any form. Any which ways you've been crusading for Mars with your counterpart pretending to be Elon and Elon's family. Those guys are already dead ages ago. So is Jeff Bezos and his wife, McKinsey. This is how India is going to be a $4 trillion economy on the back of what? But is it really the Indians who have done this? I doubt it. It's the uneducated lot. It is those who are impoverished by birth, but your birth comes from not the houses that you got rid of on earth, but from that who created the universe. You want to play that role playing filthy? What in the Bhagavad Gita did you actually follow when you picked it up to win the election? What in it did you follow? Other than getting Patra to look like he's Vivekananda, wearing the ET and the IR and the what? AI. So what level is it? You dare to speak, not recorded on this, about something about Yaki. Good. Yeah, ET, NDA, AI, IR, low, yeah, IQ, must be EQ also. यहाँ पे भी इल है. Why is there a yen in NDA? You know what the best part about Bhatia Hospital is? Next to was an old BJP man or lady. She was also steeped in a room filled with shit. अब एनडीए खुद के मेंबर्स के साथ ये करे तो मना के एनडीए इज फिल्ड विथ हु? दैट द ओल्ड बीजेपी मेंबर्स with the help of the ED, the NIA, the Home Ministry, but in whose pocket? Then who is the BJP of yesteryears? And who is NDA today? Now what is it filled with? Your party members need to ask themselves. Only you all know what it is. Let me tell you, Congress is decimated. Today's Priyanka Gandhi has got pata on her exit. Is she really Jawaharlal Nehru's granddaughter? Is she wearing ET, all this nonsense? There is no difference between NDA and UPA that was given by artificial intelligence as early as 2013. You can ask me, no, rather you tell me why. I would like you to give me the answers. Why is it so? We have Iran over here again. Yen is Japan. Earlier we got things to do with, I don't know, lots of murdering of lots of people by people who are not from this land. That's in your NDA. It's all the way from Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan, Yemen, Oman, Iraq, Iran. Iraq is here. Iraqi. We don't have a raw. It's very sad. I don't want to say because it's, actually heartbreaking. What is sitting in the raw after CDS Rawat went? The man who has come in his place, I don't want to say. He doesn't look Indian. I don't want to say it. But that's what my first take. I'm wrong, I'm very happy. If I'm right, I'm very sad. But that's my first take. Indian military has no concept of what is actually happening on the ground. No concept whatsoever, no clue. None whatsoever. The borders are said to be filled with the same problem of Tamil Nadu's unginat jabbing. On the borders there is unginat cloning. Nobody knows who is what. On the borders of India. Last to go was your navy. Okay, so I had to put this across over here because it was to do with that. What am I trying to backtrack? So we are backtracking to my photos from childhood. I had to change a little stuff here and there. Here the eyes, actually in some other photo I have changed the eyes also. It gives you whatever. All this is me. You call me a worker? You call me Jaya? Jaya Kanyalal Hukumat Rai Gurmukdas Advani to तुमने कचरे के अंदर डाल दिया है कि नहीं? तो हम अभी जया द वर्कर हो गया है, हाउसकीपर इन माय ओन होम. Because you talk on telephony, the NDA style of recording all bullshit about people. Now let me show you what my reading says about me. And I would not like you to twist it. I'd like you to take it the way it is. Any which ways, my whole family has been massacred. So that you can win elections and grow India into trillions. Right? So anyway, let's just go ahead. जो हमारा है तो हमसे ले ही नहीं सकता है. Let me assure you this one thing. Consider our status or my birth or anything as a weapon. Compared to one short little dress for 100 years, eternity is the soul. If over there you have affected yourself, then game over. And that's over and done with. So let's just go fast forward. Let's see what we're doing. This is very important because these are the photos we're looking at. These are my photos, the holder of the pendulum, who you call Yucky DNA, EW. Right? This is me only, as a baby. I'm looking nice and Pakistani. Paki humme hai. You know how much strength it takes to pack your bags and go and start life somewhere else just for the peace of mind? And then to be prosperous on the back of it because you got good karma. You know that? But what did you do with it? So I'm explaining my photos over here. Yes, some of these photos have been morphed. All three children are the same. And is the holder of the pendulum over here. Okay? Who are the three children in question? The three photos, all are me, keeping Miss Red and White out of the equation. Red and White has to do with communism. I am not a communist. I like free India, I like democratic India, and I like a free economy. I'm not communism. And let me tell you one thing. I wanted to tell you something. I will tell you. These are my photos, ugly as I am, hairy and brown. I'm Hukumat Rai Gurmukdas Advani's second son's oldest daughter. The rest of the oldest children and the second in line also are all gone. Thanks to your filthy play, not mine. And I'm no AO. Okay? Just because you want to typify me and classify me into something, I'm not for your benefit. So we've shown you our photos over here. You have morphed all my photos. Photo upon photo. I am still a Hindu because the NDA is not the only theka of Hinduism. They use it for ashrams, temples, and then. Whereas mine is actually a connect with the God, right? And the gurus. Without misusing them, following to the best of my ability whatever they establish with no foul play. So I am not going to be changing my upbringing because my dadi is a witness to it. There are many people from the Hiranandani family, Shani family who do the same thing. It is a choice. They took a choice for a certain thing and they were very, very prosperous actually on the back of it. It was spoiled by some other beings who are not nice and they're from this country. They're poverty ridden. That's the problem with them. Not because we made them poverty ridden. In fact, the ones who came over here developed the place in their own way. Those are the ones who got stolen from. Now he's been called royalty. Royal and royalty. Okay? This family. This is my father and that's my grandmom and that is my father's sister. And that's my baby photo in my first birthday. We are bald on one side. You can see, we're still bald on one side. And we have a widow's peak and we are bow-legged. But we are ugly and hairy-fairy. Now what can I do? That's me only. Not this one in the red. That red one is connected with everything red, red, red. Wherever we see it, it is red, 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 red. So no red, red. I don't like the color red. I can't stand it. Now the point is over here, the point is this is not the first throw. So 1 minute. Okay, it was the previous throw that I had done the throw on. The photos are the same. That was shown one by one by one. Yes, we want to talk about you putting the ET or GT on me. GT hospital is a municipal school, is a municipal hospital. I am trying to bring to the Indian diasporas, to worldwide, that they have taken royalty, made them yucky, and taken yucky and made them royalty just on the back of artificial intelligence, IR, ET, wearing egos of things they did not get by birth, giving us a bad name and stealing our stuff. Stealing our stuff. I'm taking the pains to do this to show you the beginning of the throw and then to show you what's in it. That's me. You see? You can see that whole dark hole in the middle. That's because we are bow-legged, but we are the ugly one. Dark and hairy. Became a brown-skinned baby because we had dysentery, so we were given some medicines and some injections for which we became dark and hairy. When we were below 1 year old, between being born, and we were born at Queen Elizabeth's nursing home, St. Elizabeth's nursing home, not Queen, St. Elizabeth's nursing home. हम तुम्हारा वर्कर नहीं है. That's my mom. You see all the ladies in their sari. You see my dadi, nani, all in white. You see, she's the same lady as in the 60s. This is in the 70s. You saw her earlier photo in the 60s. The problem is on Kailash Hingorani's identity. I think when she has produced Ramona, perhaps something happened on the back of it. Because I had a dream in which Mr. JAYA.ADVANI is telling me, you are not my daughter. So maybe he was telling Kailash auntie in the past she's not his daughter because he did not recognize the same energy of his daughter who grew up in his home, got married to Mr. Mohan Hingorani, produced Ramona, who's supposed to be the first child of the Hingorani's Advanis. She's wearing western clothes over here. So he has gone and told her, you are not an Advani. No, you are not my daughter. Before he has died. But he has died before 1969. Whereas her first daughter was born in 1964. I had a dream where her son is saying, those two are not my sisters. I don't know who he's talking about. And he's very vehement about it. Those two are not my sisters. He's got two older sisters. That's my aunt. That's my father, grandfather, my dadi. My father stands like a military man, I told you before also. And when he's got weight and all, then he's like, tall and like a military man. I told you that before also. You affected his life quite badly, what I understand. Okay, so this was the bunch of photos that we were putting together to figure out what it was all about. My daddy's nose they've gone and cut, as usual. Then she comes into my home as JAYA.ADVANI in 2006 and is talking about through her baby who's learning to talk Masi, cut nose Masi. She has picked it up from Shalina Hundlani, brain JAYA.ADVANI, becomes Shalina Hundlani after marriage. She's talking about now cutting my nose. Why you want to cut my nose? You have cut my dadi's nose. How you can call me yucky DNA? You have been chasing my tail from the time I'm a baby. That means you know that I am not yucky DNA. You have been flip-carting yucky DNA into royalty and taking royalty and making it yucky DNA. Why? For your own useless growth story. What is Rothschild's first name? Call him by his first name. Don't call them the Rothschild. How dare you take my family name away from me? Let him come and do working in my home. Tell him to wear whatever he has to wear. Come here. House of Maktoum. Maktoum क्यों बोल रहे हैं? It is saying that is NDA. अब king के बेटियों को निकालो. Princesses you have taken out. One has died in an accident the NDA way. of Narottam Das Merchant's own brother and ex, wife went in that way only. Anand Mahindra's nephew promising for management went that way only. There are so many accidents unaccounted for. You don't like them, udado, which means get rid of them in the accident. Just clear the way fast. Time is short. Never know when we have to go home, and once we go home, it's not a happy one. Let's enjoy it to the fullest. Live life to the fullest. Because when we go back to the Atmic realm, we got nothing. Okay, so this is the throw. This is the most important. Actually, this is a very important throw. It gives you lots of information about the background on the whole. Can we go forward from here? Just on this video, once this is put out, what do we have? Kala is my grandmother's name. You got the king over here. Let's just go forward over here. Cat's name was there. Sant is over there. Royalty is also over here, actually, telling you quite frankly. Royalty or royal or royalty. It was there in this read. What is interesting is GT Hospital. My mom, Anu's name is there. A-N-U. Anu. Is A-N-I-T-A there? Or A-N-E-E-T-A? That's my mother. Right? Anita Anu. But it is wearing the ETs of people purposely reclassifying them for rubbish. That's what I'm trying to bring it your way. The Sun's family was dropped by a New York den, connected with Anne and New York. Santan, New York family girl, UK do, den, yeah. So that is for my photos, who you have classified as yucky. But my family, actually, I am the child of some family connected to UK and New York. And those people are all dead, but you used me as a child, kept me aside to get into America, do the Brexit in Europe, and blame us, who you stole from and massacred all my cousins. By putting the ET of Yucky and GT on me, GT Hospital, but I was born in St. Elizabeth's Nursing Home. What is the Sant in you? NDA. When unrighteousness becomes too much, then it is good to massacre in the name of righteousness to bring in unrighteousness. The FM is involved. Kala, Saint, English, EU, Do, NMFMRGY. Foul play by the government of India, or you put Dawood Dawn and the ISI on an unsuspecting Sindhi family and their network to get to America, Europe and whatever else, including having your United Nations helping you out from New York. Your Americans need to remember one thing. What did you do with the American Indians when you went there? Sad is the fad is what Africa from the Nile keeps doing. You got rid of them and then created the Statue of Liberty on the back of it. Those were your rights, grabbing rights. Playing sad is the fad time and time again. Ten rogue men. Fernandez's name as usual comes here, that's Rosie Fernandez. Not my date, darling, she has worked for my father in JAYA.ADVANI and Company, which is Hakumat Rai, Gurmukh Advani and Company. I don't care whether Modi and Namo Namo and NDA feels it is going to go back to poverty because the truth comes out. I am explaining to every Mossad agent, every CIA agent, every FBI agent, every ISI agent, every ISIS worker, and whatever agents, M16, M6, whatever you are, you will not be spared. Yen, yen, yak, yak, not one of you will be spared. Nepal's people and Bangladeshi people, they have a system from the much earlier centuries. They confuse matters, they make you work, they make you spoil karma, and they get rid of you. They don't care about you, they want the power and the money. Wake up! Regina Pashis, from where our staff is picked up from. Right, Bertie is a maid who worked in my home. She got an African equivalent to her, I don't know whether it was the ET or whatever, but she played a Jharkhand, I think some tribal issue, something to do with what scheduled tribe kind of an issue. They played a scheduled tribe issue on her. On the back of it, they fooled the Congress and got rid of the Congress. And side by side, they also got rid of members of the BJP and created the NDA on the back of it and the UPA on the back of it. They are Regina Pash's people who were hired, about 75 to 100 of them, who have been sent to America from those days, and they are shape-shifting for the dead who's who. You ask us to do such a thing, we would tell you no chance. Why? Because God gives us our birth and we have to keep it straight. What do they have going for them? You give them an experience in a rich dead man's life, they'll grab it. They won't think about tomorrow, they don't have the education for it. They're 10 standard, 12 standard pass. Yeah, so Times of India, all the way to LA, Teach India and India Rise, Rise India, Rising India, this way. The only difference between India and the Hinduism and the other religions is, I explained to you. Your Vedas, the Shastras, the Puranas, while you call me the ISI and you call me Pakistan, I to follow it. Whatever little I can do. With no foul play in mind. None whatsoever. Never played it for my own benefit. In fact, it's a very private thing with me. Like all decent people. And no PF fucking I. No PF fucking I. Something that comes with a human birth. That's all. The only difference with the Hindus and the Catholics and the Christians of the Western world and the Protestants and whatever they are, and the Islamic world of the Sunni, Shia, and what is the other thing? Aga Khani Muslims and their Boris. Boris don't know whether they're Gujaratis or they are Muslims. Anytime there is something in India, they will switch sides almost immediately. Everything changes quickly, right? One foot in both boats, habitually. Whereas in Hinduism, the core does not get lost ever. The language only changes to explain the core concepts. If the anti-God has created so much mess in Western world, the Islamic world, there is no chance he's going to leave Hinduism. He's in India only. He has played a filthy Indian Hindu game, created the UPA and the NDA, got rid of key Congress people, key BJP people, who are going to get affected, the entire world on the back of it. He is the anti-God. Okay, these are all people connected with, Regina keep out of, but these are all people connected with the 70s, 60s, 50s, 80s. Yes, I want to see the part where they have spoken about the GT part of it. Okay, I want to see how they use the ET of the GT. Ego is over here. Demon Audrey, KG, SA, Finlint. Audrey's case is very important because over here we've got so much on Audrey, it's not a joke. Perhaps Kailash Ingorani was removed, her replica to become a Kailash Ingorani had to wear different people's ET ego. That person could be a Keralite by any chance. KGA is later in 1995 onwards. It is a Karnataka Golf Association close to Old Airport in Bangalore, Old Hall Road, and that is sometime in the 90s. We used to go to KGA, but that is some version of Koshi Gupta, which is a fake ID. It has been taken to Shakun, Shakuni and Shakuntala from your Azerbaijan, Kurdistan, Furdistan, known as Puranik over here in Purva Palm Beach. The same lady has a great fan following since they live on rent, many of them here, amongst the 3,000 people who live in this one small little community of 1920 buildings. They help each other. You don't call me dimes. You just take care of yourself. Satanic to Rome. In the earlier reading, we also got where this thing started from. We also got SRL SL. Rasatala, greedy people. That's a tala. It's of the lower realms. But that's not what I'm looking at. So to bring in the Satya Yuga and to go to a decent loka is to bring in the end times. NDM FM, KA, Satyuga and ER low. So NDM died. What you have is a fake freaking ID. That's what I'm telling you 100 times. You don't have the real guy. What you have in the Indian Parliament is an absolute fake.